their enigmatic leader, Dante Gabriel Rossetti.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's any gossip or scandal. I'm sure one of the girls will fill you in. They have tons of stories. Yeah, but it's been good. It's been fun. It's funny playing somebody like Rossetti because what you want to do is make them likable. I mean, that's kind of what you want to do in any character initially, I guess, is to make them sort of likable. And sometimes it's difficult because he makes some crazy decisions, and he's selfish. He's a selfish person. I don't think that makes him a bad person by any means. I'm kind of selfish. I know a lot of my mates are selfish. But he's quite selfish. He looks after himself. He's a libertine, you know. He just he's not incredibly moral. And he's a chancer and a risk taker, and he's talented. Not as talented as the rest of the painters, but talented nonetheless. He's a womanizer. He's passionate. He's a very passionate person about everything. Rossetti's sort of the least Victorian among them all, I guess, even in his physicality and other things like that make him sort of modern. And he's not religious, which is a huge thing. I mean, he would have been incredibly influenced by religion, like all people would have at that time, but I don't think the fear is there with him, which is something that's quite different than the rest of the characters. There's no fear of God. He has an obsession with fame, and I guess he understands, or begins to understand, the fickleness of the whole thing. I mean, he realises that, you know, what's success? Is success just to be known by other people, by other painters and by the public, or is it to sell paintings, or is it just to kind of strive for what you believe is right? So, I mean, and he gets caught up in that whole thing. I mean, how many people know him and how much paintings are going for and selling for and stuff, and that's incredibly kind of prevalent, I guess, in this modern day, which, you know, celebrities are made all the time. It's, you know, you get your 5 minutes of fame and you can make a fortune from that. So yeah, I think he twigs on that pretty early on, you know, about a century and a half before Big Brother, so, you know, he's not a stupid person. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a nice guy. He makes some dodgy decisions, but I don't think that makes him a bad person. I think it's all about intent, you know. Nothing is premeditated with Rossetti. If he embarrasses you or makes a show of you or says something that he shouldn't say, it just comes straight out. It's not something he's thought of, like, say, Fred Walters would. You know, he thinks of things and writes them down, and if he's going to say them, he makes sure he says them, and is quite particular about that. But Rossetti isn't. So, I mean, there's a lot of sort of license to, I guess, just let him away with what he's doing, and he gets away with it, and in a beautiful way, I think, you know. No, it's been a few hairy moments, and that word is used quite aptly. I mean, I had 2 weeks of sex scenes and wearing a sock over my business, so with double-sided tape, and every single night I had to rip it off and literally took everything with it. So that was fun, as you can imagine.